Hey everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood wifimary here, and welcome to today's video, or this month's video. So this is a tiny home, tiny living challenge, and it was basically, I made this for that challenge on Twitter. I think it was Simguru Frost who tweeted it, and hang on, let me get it up. It was a Sims 4 Tiny Living contest to celebrate the new pack that's coming out. I'm pretty sure as I'm uploading this, it's out today. But the rules were that you had to build a tiny yet functional home for a single sim on a 20 by 15 lot, and then upload it to the gallery using the hashtag Sims4 contest and Tiny Living contest. And then, the winners would get chosen. I'm pretty sure I didn't get chosen because this is a really shitty build. But yeah, so basically this tiny house that you had to make had to be completely functional and had, basically I think practically your sim had to live in it. Like, it had to have a kitchen, it had to have a toilet, and it had to, basically something for your sim's basic needs. So this is a 20 by 15 lot in Willow Creek. I'm pretty sure this is the Pancakes residence that I bulldozed and built a house on. So goodbye, Bob Pancakes. It was nice knowing you. So I found this build really challenging, actually, because I never build tiny homes in The Sims. It's always big houses or medium-sized houses, but never tiny homes. So I never actually realized how challenging it is to get everything packed in a single space. When I was building this, I was actually thinking to myself, holy shit, is this build too big for a tiny house? Because it's 2 stories, it has a balcony, it has a little veranda area outside. But when I was actually furnishing it, I actually realized, I was holy shit, there's nothing that I can put down. Especially, you'll see later, I had issues with the toilet because I completely forgot about it. So I had to quickly make something up upstairs in the bedroom. So my initial plans didn't really go as I thought they would. I definitely had to make some changes, and that kind of sucks, but anyway. So as you can see outside with the little veranda area, I put a larger wall up because I thought, being a tiny house, I wanted this place to have a lot of windows, because I guess a lot of windows means that a lot of light can come into your apartment or to your home, and it means that it kind of makes the place look bigger, I guess, with windows and with mirrors. But see, the issue with windows is that it really doesn't give you enough privacy. So I wanted, outside at least, I wanted to put a little a taller wall up to kind of give the house a little bit more privacy from the main street. Now, as you're seeing here, I made a sunken lounge because I believed that it brought more interest and a different kind of dynamic to the home, rather than have it just on a flat room. It definitely creates more interest. It's different, and I kind of love the idea of sunken lounges. So I was first opportunity to get a sunken lounge in here, I would take it. I had to put the TV up on the wall because there's no space to put anything down. It's literally so small. And I made sure, here you can see that I'm putting a lot of plants down, because putting a lot of plants down, I realized, brings a lot of color into the room, and they're quite small, so they don't take up a lot of space, and they're really good decorative items, I guess. So you'll be seeing a lot of plants in this house, in this build, basically, and also outside, because of the color scheme I chose. The plants really seemed to bring a lot of life into this build, which really wasn't happening before because, you know, the black walls and the wooden panels were kind of stale. So I opted for putting a lot of wall art and wall paintings and plants down. So as you can see here, the kitchen, I decided to put mirrors at the back as like a backsplash, because I thought bringing mirrors in to your build really helps the space look more like, it helps the space look bigger than it actually is, because your site, I guess, is kind of further away and it doesn't look like you're in a cramped space. And instead of putting like an actual dining area, I just opted to go with a bar, because I was like, you know, this house is supposedly technically for a single sim. I don't think having like a huge like dining area would be like practical. As a single sim, you know, eating at the breakfast bar would be fine. So that's what I did. It saved up a lot of space, so I could actually put in more things like near the kitchen as well. This bookshelf I originally put near the stairs, and I was like, that is a really bad idea because it looks like it's just jutting out of there, and when you're walking down to the lounge, it like literally looks like you can like hit yourself in it. So I moved it. I don't know if I move it again upstairs. I might actually. So upstairs, decided on a loft area, again to give it the illusion that it's big, basically, because then your sims can just look down downstairs and it doesn't really look like you're cramped, and you probably wouldn't feel claustrophobic at all. But honestly, this house is tiny and as you can see here, this is like my make do bathroom, which is a really stupid idea, because if any sims come to visit you, they'll have to go up to your bedroom to use the bathroom, which is just stupid, and I don't know what I was thinking. And if I could remake this, I would definitely try to plan out, you know, have a better floor plan, I guess, have the bathroom near the kitchen, make it bigger. But then again, this is a tiny home. I don't think I was supposed to make anything bigger. Basically, this house was just like one big question mark for me, because I didn't know what exactly like qualified as a tiny home. Like, to me, this is huge, but then they were still like, yeah, it's a tiny home. I was watching the Tiny Living, what's the pack called? Tiny Living? I was watching the trailer when it first came out, and then they were like, Tiny Living, and like the Murphy beds are back, and I was just sitting there like, holy shit, these builds are like supposedly tiny because they don't have that much space, but they look huge on the outside. And like, honestly, the Murphy beds kind of take up a lot of space. If like, when you're thinking about it, yeah, they fold up, so you can use that space when they're like, when you fold the Murphy beds up, you can use that space that they take up. But also, like, can you put a couch there when the Murphy bed's up? Because, you know, this is not real life, this is The Sims. You can't just like push things out of the way. So like, is that space still technically unusable? Because when you pull down the Murphy bed, obviously, you know, you're gonna need space, and if there's already something occupying that space and you don't have like move objects on, like, what are you gonna do? Like, what works and what doesn't? So I'm kind of waiting for the reviews of Tiny Living to come out before like I purchase it or anything, because at the moment I feel like, number one, we can already do Tiny Living in The Sims. You know, you can't have any lot traits and stuff to specify it that it's a tiny home, but technically I'm making a tiny home here without the pack. So you know, also, like, second, I'm very confused as to how the furnishing with that Murphy bed works, and I really just kind of want to know in advance whether, you know, you kind of still, it's basically still dead space, I guess, when you put it up. But yeah, my complaint about that trailer was that some of those homes did not look tiny and they still looked huge. They were like basically single floor starter homes for Sims. Speaking of starter homes, I know that they said that this was for a single sim, but they didn't say it was a starter home, so it's incredibly expensive. I put in like I put in like the most expensive computer before, and then it kind of hit me. I was like, shit, I don't know if this is a tiny home for a single sim who's a starter sim, but I had to change things. But even then, in the end, it still turned out very, very expensive. I added a little balcony area because I didn't know if we were allowed to put a backyard area, because that would make the build significantly larger. So I put in a little balcony area with a little couch lounge area. What am I talking about? I don't know. And I'm pretty sure I put pot plants down and an easel, so you know, your Sims can come out here and do some work, have a bit of fresh air, because their home is incredibly tiny. Yeah, I put a lot of plants outside too because I wanted it to look less dead, basically. Also, I don't know, I really like the idea of having the taller walls up here in front of like your main entrance, because it really does give that illusion of more privacy, and I kind of like it. I kind of dig it. Yeah, I put a bike in here. I'm pretty sure it cuts through the wall. I'm pretty sure one of the plants here that I put down actually cuts through the wall, which is a shame. Unless we were going for that like really rundown The Last of Us apocalyptic look, then I don't think that any plants should be cutting into your walls. Also, yeah, I didn't add a backyard because, yeah, so that's why the back looks horrendous, because it's basically flat with no windows and there's just nothing to it. And I really wanted to put in some more trees, but I was like, I don't know if I should put in more trees, and I honestly think I should have at least put in like one or more trees. But I hate the back of this build. I hate it so much. Like, look at it, it's just flat and it has no windows and it just looks awful, and I'm so embarrassed to say that this is my build. Oh, it just looks so bad. I really hate it. Because, you know, what was I gonna do with the back when like everything was? I just gonna put more windows there? I didn't know what to do. I could have designed the whole thing a lot better, I think, but then again, that really made me question whether I was making a tiny house build, or like if this was coming up to like, you know, a regular build, because to me, in my eyes, there might not be enough space inside. Like, it's tiny inside. Like, there's a lot of dead space. Well, I don't think there's a lot of dead space here. I think I used it pretty well, but there's not a lot of space actually. Like, there's literally not a lot of space inside, and you have to put things quite strategically to make it look good and still look accessible, and to make it you know, work for your Sims. But yeah, anyway, here are some screenshots of the house. Overall, I'm happy with this build at like my first attempt at a tiny house, but I definitely do think I can do better in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you all whenever.